This is Polygala dalmaisiana, and Sweet-Pea Shrub is the common name. This plant you're looking at is 6 feet tall by 4 feet wide, and it is only 2 years old from a 5-gallon container. So when I planted this, I would tell you it is 16 to 18 inches high by about a foot 14 inches wide, and in 2 years it's reached the size that you see here. So this is an evergreen shrub. I will look up its cold hardiness, but we get in the mid-20s here in the winter, and it doesn't have any problem with that. It doesn't stress out in that kind of cold, so I'm thinking that it's at least hardy down to around 20 degrees, but I will confirm that. And it also does very well in coastal areas. I'm going to jump into kind of what it tolerates. It tolerates seaside conditions. I've seen this a lot in Pacific Grove, Monterey area. It does very well. And secondly, it's a very reliable deer-resistant plant. In very harsh deer areas, this plant has gone untouched. So I would tell you that that's a nice green a nice evergreen shrub that can tolerate the deer. Secondly, this plant's never been out of bloom since I put it in 2 years ago. It gets its common name from these little flowers you see here, and it's interesting. So it's mid-September, and I'm in a hot inland valley. I'm not near the coast, but this had a very strong bloom in early summer, late spring, and now we're in September, and it's doing a very strong push. These flowers just showed up in the last couple of weeks here at the beginning of September, and I would tell you in August it had a few blooms, but it was pretty boring. I'm seeing a lot of buds here. You can see right here that these are about to pop. These guys are blooming right now. So in our situation, has a nice spring, early summer bloom, blooms all summer, and then it turns, and it's probably got something to do with the length of day, but now it's blooming again very strongly here in early fall. So I like this because it can be pruned. You're going to see a photo or two in there of it pretty tight and rounded. Most people tend to prune most of their shrubs. This plant you see here has not been pruned at all. I literally have not touched it in 2 years, and that's the form that you see there that I've gotten just leaving it alone. So it's more upright. It's probably twice the height to the width, and it's got a little bit of a hole in there, but you'll see one that I took a picture of this morning that's a little taller, and it's nice and dense. So if you want to get these a little fuller, I would say pinch them or prune them a little as they mature, and you'll get a dense, fuller plant overall. So I like using this with its kind of, light raspberry colored flower there, and it has white in it as well. These combine nicely with carpet roses at their feet, and a good kind of fence screening or a plant against a hot wall. In our hot inland valleys, these can take a lot of heat, which is nice, and I've put these against walls that get afternoon sun, and they handled it just fine. So very tolerant of heat, even in full sun in hotter areas. And I think that's about it for what I can tell you about Sweet-Pea Shrub, Polygala dalmaisiana.